We're Hawaii's oldest fish farm. We started way back. The fish are raised in cages off the bottom. The pond is fairly deep, and the water is always it's spring water. It comes from the bottom and constantly. So the fish here are very fresh tasting and clean. We're making a tilapia soup that my mom used to make. I like making this soup because it reminds me of my mom and her love of tomatoes. She said tomatoes make everything sweet. And it reminds me of my dad too, who liked to fish and eat fish almost every week. Yeah, it's a very simple recipe. You chop up onions and then you kind of mince ginger, like an inch of ginger, and like 2 small tomatoes. You cut it into wedges, and then my mom would mix the ginger and maybe a teaspoon of salt with the tomatoes, and she used to say you have to squish it with your hands because she said you want it nice and juicy. You you fry the onions a bit, and then you put in the fish, and then you put in the sauce, and then you can add like maybe 2 cups of water if you want a little soup in there. You can test the fish to see if it's ready. If you get a fork and kind of lift the flesh off the bone, if it pulls away, then you know the fish is cooked. At the end, you can add salt and pepper how you want, and I like to add cilantro on the top. Oh, my mom, oh my gosh, such a hard worker. She would make sure things were on the table, even if she'd put in a full day picking macadamia nuts at the macadamia farm, which is pretty hard work because you're squatting down all day. She always made sure she cooked a homemade meal for us every day.
On the Table is brought to you as a community service by KIKU TV.